Welcome to the AI revolution. Feels like every single day there's a new, mind-blowing breakthrough,
Yeah,
right?
it does.
It could be some small startup or a massive tech giant making waves, you know?
Totally.
And it feels like AI is touching everything these days.
It really does.
How we find resources,
Uh-huh.
how we work,
Yeah.
even how we create art.
I know, it's crazy.
But here's the real question on everyone's mind.
What's that?
Is this a guaranteed win for humanity,
Right.
or are we taking a massive gamble?
The big question.
Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
All right, so
Yeah.
this AI revolution, it's not just about
Yeah.
fancy gadgets or
Right.
making our jobs easier.
Yeah.
It's about something way bigger.
It is. It's huge.
I mean, we're talking about reshaping how we live,
Yeah.
how we interact with the world,
Like changing everything.
literally everything. And speaking of reshaping, there's a company out there that's actually using AI
Whoa.
to mine the future.
Mine the future. What do you mean?
KoBold Metals.
Hmm.
They just secured a $2.96 billion valuation
Wow.
after raising,
Oh.
get this,
Yeah.
$537 million.
What?
It's $500 million.
I know. It's unbelievable.
Riding on the belief that AI can help us find these essential minerals we need.
So they think they can just use AI to find new minerals.
We do, yeah.
Interesting.
Like the stuff that goes into electric car batteries
Oh, right.
and renewable energy sources.
Uh-huh.
So is this a game changer or just a massive gamble?
I don't know.
What do you think?
Well,
We want to hear from you. Don't forget to share your thoughts with us on social media
yeah.
using the handle @AI4ThePeople.
At AI for the people.
We want to hear from you.
Okay, cool. So what about KoBold?
Right.
What's their approach?
So they're using AI to analyze geological data,
Geological data. Okay.
rocks and dirt and all that stuff,
Ah, all right.
to actually try and predict where to find these minerals.
Like using an algorithm to figure out where to dig?
Pretty much.
That's pretty wild.
It is pretty wild.
So if they're right,
yeah,
this could be massive for the green energy transition.
it could.
And could help us meet that crazy global demand for, all these resources.
Right. Absolutely.
Everyone wants electric cars and solar panels and all that.
Exactly.
Which all require these special minerals like
Yeah.
lithium and copper and all that. So
Right.
if they can just find more of that stuff,
Right.
it'll be a lot easier to build all that stuff.
It could be huge.
Yeah.
But $500 million
It's a lot of money.
is a huge bet.
It is.
So what if this AI gets it wrong?
Right. That's the risk.
I mean, what are the implications here if this whole AI-driven approach just doesn't work out?
Yeah.
Could this actually set back the entire green energy transition?
It's a good question.
So it's a valid concern, right?
Right, of course.
Any new technology,
Uh-huh.
there's always going to be risks.
Yeah, definitely.
But you also have to weigh those risks against the potential rewards.
That's true.
So imagine a world where we can just pinpoint the exact locations of all the resources we need,
Okay.
minimize the environmental impact,
Right.
maximize efficiency.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the promise that KoBold is chasing.
Makes sense.
And it's a future worth exploring, don't you think?
I think so, yeah. It's a really interesting idea.
For sure.
I'm really curious to see how this all plays out.
Yeah, me too.
Who knows? Maybe they'll completely change the mining industry.
It's definitely a high-stakes game.
It is.
And we'll be watching closely to see how it all unfolds.
For sure.
But,
What?
KoBold isn't the only player in this AI revolution.
Oh, of course not. This is way bigger than just one company.
We're seeing this global race for AI dominance.
Yeah.
Especially between
Right.
the U.S. and China.
Right, the big two.
Exactly.
It's like a new kind of arms race,
It kind of is, yeah.
but with algorithms instead of nukes.
Right, exactly.
Scary stuff.
It can be, yeah.
But also exciting in a way.
Definitely.
Like we're on the cusp of something really big.
Absolutely.
And it's anyone's guess who's going to come out on top.
Exactly. And the competition is fierce.
Oh, yeah.
Like, take the Stargate initiative, for example.
Stargate Initiative.
You heard of that?
I don't think so.
So it's this massive partnership
Oh.
between Microsoft and OpenAI, and they're pouring $500 billion.
$500 billion. Are you serious?
I am totally serious, into building 20 massive AI data centers in Texas.
Whoa.
That's their goal.
Okay, and what are they hoping to achieve with all that?
To make sure the U.S. stays ahead in developing what's called artificial general intelligence.
Artificial General Intelligence.
Or AGI.
AGI. I've heard that term thrown around.
Yeah, it's a hot topic these days.
It is, but I'm not entirely sure what it means.
So basically,
Yeah.
AGI is kind of like the ultimate goal
Oh.
of AI research.
Oh, okay.
It's about creating an AI that can do anything a human can.
Anything.
Intellectually.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow, that's a pretty big goal.
It is. It's massive.
So like a computer that can learn anything,
Uh-huh.
solve any problem,
Yeah,
be creative.
exactly.
I mean, that's incredible.
It is.
And also kind of terrifying.
It's both, right?
Yeah, definitely both.
Okay, so it's like having this super intelligent digital assistant
Right.
that can do pretty much anything we can do.
Yeah.
Only better.
So basically, we're all going to be out of a job.
Well, that's one of the concerns.
I can see why people are worried about that.
Yeah, there are definitely ethical implications here that we need to talk about.
Like what?
Job displacement, for one,
Right.
AI bias, even the potential for misuse of this kind of advanced tech.
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
It is.
I mean, we've seen what happens when powerful technology falls into the wrong hands.
Right, and AGI takes that to a whole new level.
Definitely.
So it's like we're standing on the edge of this new era, but we're not really sure what's on the other side. That's a good way to put it.
So what do you think? Are we ready for AGI?
I honestly don't know.
And what steps can we take to make sure it's used for good?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
Jump into the conversation and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
You can tag us on social media using @AI4ThePeople.
@AI4ThePeople.
You want to hear your thoughts?
So
Yeah.
the future of AI,
Mm-hmm.
it's being written right now.
It is.
And it's a story we're all writing together.
I like that.
It's not just up to the tech companies or the governments.
Right.
It's up to all of us.
We all have a role to play.
Exactly.
We need to be having these conversations,
Yeah.
asking the tough questions, and working together to make sure this technology is developed responsibly.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's about shaping the future we want,
Absolutely.
not just letting it happen to us.
Couldn't agree more.
Well said. And speaking of AI in action,
Oh, yeah.
we're seeing incredible advancements in how it's changing the way we work.
And how we create,
Okay, like what?
like OpenAI's ChatGPT, for example.
ChatGPT, that's the one everyone's talking about.
It is, yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
It can do all sorts of things now.
Like what?
Like scheduling tasks,
Oh, wow.
automating workflows,
Cool.
even solving complex problems using logic.
Really?
It's becoming an essential tool for businesses and individuals alike.
It's like having a super-powered personal assistant.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's amazing.
ChatGPT is a great example of how AI is becoming more accessible, more integrated into our daily lives.
I've definitely noticed that.
Yeah, we're seeing similar advancements in healthcare, transportation,
Right.
pretty much every field you can think of.
So it's not just a fad.
Not at all. This is the real deal.
AI is here to stay.
It is, and it's changing everything.
It's both exciting and a little scary at the same time.
No, right?
Like, we're stepping into the unknown.
Exactly.
And we don't really know what's going to happen next.
It's a wild ride.
It is.
But it's a ride we're all on together.
That's for sure.
And that's why it's so important to have these conversations.
I agree.
To be aware of both the possibilities and the risks.
Absolutely.
We can't just ignore the potential downsides.
Right. We need to be responsible.
Exactly.
Like with those deepfakes we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that's a prime example of how AI can be used for both good and bad.
I know. It's crazy how realistic they're getting.
It's getting harder and harder to tell what's real and what's fake.
It's scary.
It is.
It's like, how can we even trust anything anymore?
It's a serious concern.
It is.
And it's something we need to be very vigilant about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge problem, and it's only getting worse, you know?
Yeah, it really does feel like a whole new level of threat.
It is.
I mean, imagine a world where you can't even trust what you see with your own eyes.
Right. It's like, how do we even function in a society like that?
Exactly. So how do we even begin to tackle this problem? Is it just a losing battle?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a losing battle, but it's definitely going to require like a multi-pronged approach, you know?
Right, so what are we talking about here?
Well, for starters, researchers are working on ways to like detect deepfakes.
Oh, okay, so like a deepfake detector.
Yeah, basically, they're trying to identify those little inconsistencies that give them away.
Interesting.
Like unnatural blinking or weird lighting or shadow.
So like little glitches in the matrix.
Exactly, yeah.
But it sounds like it's more than just building a better deepfake detector.
Oh,
right?
absolutely, yeah.
Like what else can we do?
Well, we also need to focus on like educating people, you know?
Oh, okay.
Like empowering them to become more discerning consumers of online content.
That makes sense.
We got to promote media literacy and critical thinking skills so that people can actually question what they see and hear, especially online.
So it's like we need a whole new set of skills for the digital age.
Pretty much, yeah.
We need to be able to spot the fakes, verify sources, and think critically about everything we're seeing and hearing.
It's not enough to just blindly trust everything anymore, you know.
We can't be passive consumers anymore.
Exactly. We got to be active participants in figuring out what's real and what's fake.
So it's a combination of technological solutions and individual responsibility.
Exactly.
We need better tools to detect deepfakes, but we also need to be more aware and critical of the information we're consuming.
Exactly. It's a shared responsibility.
And it's not just about deepfakes.
Right?
We need to be thinking about the bigger picture.
Oh, for sure.
All the ethical implications of AI, like algorithmic bias,
Right.
the potential for job displacement,
Yeah.
even AI being used in like weapon systems.
That's a scary one.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
Definitely.
It can feel overwhelming, like we're opening up Pandora's box.
It can. It can.
But how do we harness this power for good?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is, and I keep coming back to this idea of balance,
Oh.
between optimism and caution.
That's a good way to put it.
Like, how do we embrace the potential of AI while also being aware of the risks?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It is. It's a tough question with no easy answer.
No easy answers at all.
So
I think the key is to approach AI development with both a sense of wonder and a healthy dose of skepticism.
I like that.
We got to be mindful of the potential downsides while also, embracing the possibilities.
Absolutely, because the possibilities are incredible.
They are. They really are.
All right, so speaking of possibilities,
Oh, yeah.
let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and talk about AI's impact on the future of work.
All right.
This is a topic that always gets people talking
Oh, yeah, for sure.
because it's a mix of excitement and anxiety.
Right. Like some people are really excited about the potential of AI to free us from those boring, repetitive jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
But then other people are worried about, losing their jobs to robots.
Right. It's a valid concern.
It is. And it's already happening.
Oh, absolutely. Like AI is already automating a lot of tasks that humans used to do.
Yeah. And that's only going to accelerate in the next few years.
It is. So what do we do? How do we adapt?
Well, I think the key is to focus on developing skills that AI can't replicate.
Okay, so like what kind of skills are we talking about?
It's not just about learning to code or becoming a data scientist,
Okay.
although those skills are definitely important.
Right.
But it's also about those uniquely human skills, you know?
Yeah.
Things like creativity, critical thinking,
Okay.
problem solving,
Right.
emotional intelligence,
Interesting.
adaptability.
Yeah.
Those are the things that AI just can't do.
So those are the skills that are going to set us apart in the future.
Exactly.
I mean, it sounds like we need to totally rethink education.
We do.
Like focus on nurturing those uniquely human qualities.
I agree. We need to foster curiosity, encourage collaboration, and empower students to be lifelong learners.
Because the jobs of the future might not even exist yet.
That's right. So it's about giving them the skills and the mindset to adapt to whatever comes their way.
It's almost like we need to shift from a knowledge-based economy to a skills-based economy.
Exactly.
Where the emphasis is on like adaptability, creativity, and the ability to just learn and evolve constantly.
I couldn't agree more.
It's a daunting prospect, but it's also pretty exciting.
It is. It's a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
But it's also an opportunity to redefine what it means to work.
Right, like to find meaning and purpose in a world that's constantly changing.
Exactly. AI has the potential to be a powerful tool for progress, but it's up to us to use it wisely and ethically.
It always comes back to that human element, doesn't it?
It does.
We need to be the ones guiding the development and implementation of AI, making sure that it aligns with our values and serves humanity.
I agree. We can't just let AI run wild.
It's our responsibility to steer the ship.
Well said. It's a reminder that the future of AI is not predetermined.
It's a future that we're creating right now.
Exactly. With every choice we make.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into AI.
We have.
AI-powered mining, the race for AGI, the ethical challenges of deep fakes.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
AI is a powerful force shaping our world. That much is clear.
No doubt about it. It's changing everything.
But as we wrap up, I think it's time to circle back to that big question we posed at the beginning.
Okay, which one?
Game changer or gamble?
Yeah.
Is this AI revolution a win for humanity or a risky bet?
It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And I think the answer is probably... Well, it's complicated.
Right.
It's not a simple yes or no.
It's both, right?
Exactly. AI has incredible potential for good, but there are real risks, too. We can't ignore those.
So how do we find that balance? How do we harness the power of AI for good while avoiding the potential pitfalls?
Yeah, it's like walking a tightrope.
That's a good analogy.
On one side, you have the potential to solve some of humanity's biggest problems.
Like climate change.
Exactly. Disease, poverty, you name it.
But on the other side.
On the other side, you have the potential for misuse, unintended consequences.
And even existential threats, right?
It's a scary thought, but it's a possibility we have to consider.
So how do we navigate this tightrope?
Carefully. I think the key is to approach AI with a sense of both optimism and caution.
A balance, like you said.
Exactly. We need to be excited about the possibilities, but also aware of the limitations.
And the potential downsides.
Absolutely. We need to be proactive, not reactive.
It's a big responsibility.
It is. It's like that old saying, with great power comes great responsibility.
We have a responsibility to make sure AI is used ethically for the benefit of all humankind.
Not just for profit or for power.
Right. It needs to align with our values, with our vision for a better future.
And that's where the conversation comes in. We need to be talking about this openly and honestly.
Discussing the ethical implications, setting guidelines, establishing regulations.
It can't just be the tech companies calling the shots.
We all have a stake in this.
It's our future after all.
So what can we do? We've talked about the risks, the possibilities. What's the takeaway for our listeners?
I think the most important thing is to be aware. Educate yourself about AI, its potential, its limitations.
Stay informed. Engage in the conversation.
Exactly. Don't be passive. Make your voice heard.
Because the future of AI is not predetermined. It's being shaped right now.
And we all have a role to play in shaping it.
Well said. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive.
It's been a fascinating discussion.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the AI revolution.
It's been a pleasure sharing these insights with you.
We hope you found it informative, thought-provoking, maybe even a little inspiring.
We hope it sparks some conversations, gets people thinking about these important issues.
Remember, the AI revolution is happening now. It's not science fiction. It's our reality.
So stay curious, stay engaged.
Ask questions, challenge assumptions.
And most importantly, be part of the conversation.
And if you want to stay ahead of the AI curve, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on social media for all the latest updates and insights.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the world of AI.
Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and let's lead the AI race together.